Jesus Christ, you people suck. Wow. Wolverine wanted to be just...
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady.
But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
Alright, it's time! Another week of N4G Radio. This is episode 677 for November 22nd, 2021. And this is the turkey episode. This is the week of Thanksgiving, y'all, in America. And on the show this week, it's just me and Anthony.
Yeah, you're the only one celebrating that on this podcast.
That's true, because you one of them Canadians.
Yeah, that's a thing that has not changed since I've started on this podcast.
Oh, really? I thought you would have,
Yeah, during the pandemic, I was like, yeah, you know what? Why don't I move to the States?
I mean, I don't think that's a better idea.
They say Florida's hot right now. Oh, sorry. A hot zone for Corona. All right.
Florida, where it's nice and muggy and fluey.
People just coughing into each other's mouths.
I'll tell you a thing.
There's nothing more intimate than having someone's open mouth and just go right into it.
I think the most shocking thing yesterday, I went to the health food store, and I was the only one wearing a mask, and I'm like, come on.
There's a bit of irony there.
Yeah, I'm like, come on. Like, you're here, but you're not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, anyway, we are approaching the end of the 2021. There are video games aplenty right now. We'll talk about some of those today, but I think it's funny that I kind of spent a lot of my time playing old games this week, whether it was a remake or a back compat or something.
Oh, well, I have not, so...
Well, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you played? So you didn't play the other remake? Or were you saving that for last? Where you gotta catch them all?
Yeah, well, that's a phrase I haven't used. I mean, I suppose. They've done enough changes where it's new and old simultaneously. So I'm playing the Pokemons for review. And I physically bought Diamond because that's the copy that I still have sitting on my shelf of the DS. You could say, well, aren't you... So I'm playing Diamond even though Pearl I have for review, blah, 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 whatever. They're the same fucking game. I'm impressed. As someone that has played newer Pokemon games and went, this isn't for me anymore. It feels good to be back. I guess. I think one of the worst mistakes they did was change. Like they just can't go realistic with this series. On a technical level, there's just too much. The more they put into like making an open world, the less and less Pokemon they have to have just because of time. And like it just causes a lot of problems. So like I love the fact that this looks like an old Pokemon game. It feels like an old Pokemon game. I'm not even really hating the in fact I'm kind of enjoying it, the experience share, which is on and you can't turn it off, unfortunately.
Do you
because
not
I was a purist. Sorry?
I like experience share, but that's just me.
So here's the reason why I didn't like it. I liked experience share. There was an item experience share, and you put it on one Pokemon, and that Pokemon would be the only Pokemon to get experience from every battle. And I really liked that setup. When they went to experience shares, just a switch that you turn on or off, come, I want to say X and Y, the problem became that I was getting into battles and my Pokemon were leveling up too quickly, so I couldn't explore. And that becomes an issue because if your Pokemon outlevel you, you can't control them. Right? So before I reach the next gym, my Pokemon would already be at the point where if I fight another battle before I get done the gym and this Pokemon levels up, it could be out of the range of me being able to control it.
What do you
And
mean by
that's
control
irritating.
it?
Sorry?
What do you mean by control? I don't know enough about Pokemon.
Unless it's been completely removed, Pokemon, the badges allowed you to. So basically, every badge was like a range of levels. So you have up until a certain level that Pokemon will then stop listening to you. So you'll give them a command, and they may do it. They may choose to do something else. They may just choose to not listen. Because they don't think you're worthy or some shit. But basically, it as a player on a full, not lore-based thing, you don't get to input commands directly anymore. Because the idea is that you are not over-leveling for every battle. So there's still some challenge when you get to the gym.
Huh.
When you have experience share on, again, this may have been removed and I didn't notice it, but this used to be a thing. When the experience share became just a switch on and off, when your Pokemon are out leveling the area that they're in before you get to the gym, even though you're just looking to explore and getting into battles, and they're quick, right? But so your Pokemon are really strong. You're just kind of like two-shotting every enemy in the area, but over time, the more you do that, the more experience they get, and eventually they're going to hit a point where they stop listening, and when it's just a switch that you turn on and off, that becomes a problem. And I haven't hit that problem yet, and I think part of it is like the pacing in X and Y was really bad. I did not enjoy X and Y. I maybe the games became better with Sun and Moon or Alpha Sapphire, Mega Ruby, or Alpha Ruby and Mega Sapphire, whatever the fuck it was. I don't know, but like that was a problem I had with the experience share. It doesn't seem to be as much of a problem in the new Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Yeah, I mean, look, it's Pokemon. Like, I don't know what else to add. This is where I think the series peaked. I thought it was the most interesting. I do like the fact of how they do the Pokemon Watch. So in the DS original, the top screen was the gameplay, and the bottom screen was this watch that had different modes in it. And you got different apps the further you went in. And every app did something different. One's just a clock, you're like, oh, whatever. But eventually you could like hunt for Pokemon in wild grass where you'd hit the button and it would make it shine, and like or shake the grass where the Pokemon are, so you didn't have to random encounter if you're looking for a specific Pokemon. It made it easier. It was a way to actually look for shiny Pokemon too, where you'd hit it, and if it sparkled, you knew it was a shiny Pokemon in the grass. Like, there's a lot of stuff added that, we talk about quality of life stuff. It was quality of life changes without actively removing some of the difficulties of Pokemon. Because I played Pokemon as a kid. Sure, there's a lot of systems that you can get into, but like, for the most part, you can power your way through that game with just attacks that do a lot of damage. It's when you start fighting other people that becomes maybe a problem that you have to look into, the IVs and EVs and all the stupid shit that is behind the scenes, and there's calculators for and Pokerus and all that crap that I'm not interested in. That's like way too hardcore for me. but this is where it was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of casual elements and there's a lot of hardcore stuff. And then I thought Black and White was a step backwards to the point where they had to remake them. As Black and White 2. But yeah, I just thought the 3DS games were like the point where the Pokemon kind of lost focus. And again, maybe it had figured it out, but from the sounds of it, Sword and Shield did not. I know people are probably complaining about these Pokemon games as well, because adults on the internet are playing a game for children and wondering why it doesn't cater to them. And I'm not that daft. I literally went, oh, this Pokemon's not for me anymore when I played X and Y. And I was disappointed, and I thought it was a bad choice just because I'm also the person that played Detective Pikachu for review and went, this is a okay game, but like, kids are smarter than this. And that was my issue with the Pokemon series, was kids are smarter than this. Like, you didn't have the phenomena of Pokemon without the game, and we played those as kids. Like, I was in that group that went insane for Pokemon when it happened. I was the perfect age. So the new games have really stepped away from that. But like, I've talked about it before, like Diamond and Pearl had a ton of endgame content. Like, you're not done this game when you're done it. And like, they seem to be figuring out ways to bring back some of the weird elements, because I was telling Drew, who's not here, how dare he?
How
whatever
dare
he's
he?
doing. About like the fact that like I hadn't played any of the Game Boy Advance games. I bought Diamond, my friend bought Pearl, and I went and bought Pokemon Ranger. I was so into these games. I went and bought Pokemon Ranger, which is a spin-off game. I think they're really good. They're interesting. But when you finished Pokemon Ranger, you got a Pokemon egg, and you traded that egg, like, through a convoluted method that I can't recall exactly. I think you need to have 2 DSs, and you need to do Mystery Gift on Diamond, and hit an option in Ranger, and it sent the egg to Diamond. The egg would hatch into Manaphy, which is like a rare legendary Pokemon that you could only get through this method. And then Manaphy, when you hatched, or when you put it in the breeding facility, would lay an egg for a different legendary Pokemon called Fion. And like, there's a ton of event Pokemon, like weird stuff. Like it was the first time I felt like, oh, this is exactly what, as a kid, all the weird little rumors and stuff, like, oh, if you push the truck near the boat, Mew's underneath it, which isn't true at all, but you know, rumors spread about Pokemon because it was popular. Diamond and Pearl seem to really play into that type of stuff, where there was like small little mentions of Pokemon, and like there's like a mansion that's haunted with like human ghosts, and it's so weird. And then they're introducing Pokemon that when it rains, they get boosts, and so there's now weather effects in the game, and like if you catch one Pokemon on the East Coast, it's pink, and on the West Coast it's blue, and they have a different form, sort of. Like, it was just this really grand experience, and in a remake they had the total opportunity to ruin it. Now, I'm not super far, but they're doing a really good job of not making a mess of it. Like, this isn't Game Freak, this is, I wonder if it says the studio on the back. Of course not. That would be helpful. This isn't Game Freak. This is another studio that's remade this, and it feels spot on. I'm so surprised, and I'm very happy. Now, that could change the further I get into it, because obviously I'm not like super far in, but because I've only had it since Friday, and I haven't made it very far. But fuck, man, I'm super happy with it. I'm super happy with it after not being happy with Pokemon for quite some time.
So I'm also playing Diamond. And who did you pick? Who's your
Turtwig.
Ah, I'm a penguin man. Sorry.
Turtwig is who I picked, and like for the stupidest reason, but I literally am like this Pokemon is adorable, and I love it, and I'm picking that.
My friend took him, and I just battled him, and I whooped his Turtwig. I want you to know.
Yes, but his Turtwig is not my Twiggy.
Do you name all of your characters?
Nope. My starter though I don't get rid of, so I name my starters. So Twiggy is what I named my Turtwig way back. God, over a decade ago. And so that's what I named my Turtwig this time around.
I named my penguin Popper.
Mr. Popper's Penguins?
Exactly. That's exactly why I named him Popper.
That's good. I like it. Yeah, man, it just I don't know. I don't even mind like the fact that it's all like 3D and stuff. Because I thought maybe maybe it was just the 3D change that I wasn't like a fan of, but no, I like the fact that when the when you face an opponent and they lose, they they actually like make a face and sort of react to it. I like how they do like a pose, like the pose that they would have been in the original. They do like a freeze frame as they move into the shot. The kids make like a weird like running pose.
I like how they all have names too. That's always cracked me up.
Oh yeah.
Nick or Sarah.
Jennifer. Yeah.
I'm very early on. I think I'm like an hour and a half in. I just made it to the city with the first gym. So
yeah, I'm not even like that's how far back I am. I'm not even there yet. I just take my time. I'm I am so part of the thing is I usually end up pretty strong before I get to the gyms.
I think Popper's 12, level 12 right now. Like I spent a lot of time running around the grass in the areas in between.
That was the thing that I had, the issue I had with X and Y. I want to catch Pokemon. That is, I'm not playing this like and I wonder. I was hoping Drew would be here, because I'm not playing this like, oh, you can only catch the first Pokemon you see or whatever.
Oh, the Nuzlocke challenge or whatever.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, fucking cool that people can do that shit. It's just not how I want to play these.
No, so. I want to catch them all. That's the thing. I made a mistake. I was in the mines yesterday before I quit, and I got up against a Geodude, and I accidentally water shot him, and it one hit him.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get to catch him. I was mad that I didn't catch him.
So the funny thing is, we both chose not fire types, and like the fire types in this game are like, there's not many.
I don't know.
There's a weird like lack of fire types in Diamond and Pearl.
I think I've always been the water guy. Like I did Blastoise back in the original. Like that was I always like water type.
I am unfortunately part of the reason why Charizard is so popular. I really like Charmander and Charmeleon.
Pokemon.
Twiggy is my jam. Like he's my favorite Pokemon is Turtwig. It just was a weird thing where it's like, yep, this is my favorite. He's great. He's got a little tree growing out of his head.
I got the bug, and I named him the bug that looks like he's wearing like a tuxedo.
Cricket.
And I named him Winthorpe.
I don't know why. I don't know.
It just sounds like a proper like wasp kind of name.
But I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it sounds like a wasp. It's Winthorpe. He's going. What's his? He just learned a new move. Goddamn, what was it called? It was cracking me up. The struggle bug.
Yes, I don't recall that move, but apparently, I guess it was in the original.
Yeah, I ran into a Psyduck, and I hit him with the struggle bug. Oh, struggle bug is my favorite move name.
That is, yeah.
Drew just
I
texted
believe
me and said he's on his way. He's gonna miss
Thanks,
on
Drew.
Pokemon.
It's only been 20 minutes.
Yeah, you know.
Well, he'll talk about Pokemon when he's in, I'm sure.
Did he get it?
He asked me which version I was getting, so he could get the other version.
But why? Like, can we do stuff online?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been able to redeem my codes yet for my quick balls.
Yeah, me neither. There's also how you get Manaphy in this game is through a mystery gift, but I don't know when you get mystery gift.
Yeah, I keep going to my menu. Like, I've got my watch, and I got my map, but I don't have mystery gift.
Because eventually mystery gift is going to activate, and you go to like when you go to a shop, someone will be standing there ready to give you the item. But fuck me if I know when that happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep checking.
That's how you would get the event items, like the tickets and stuff to go to specific islands to catch like Darkrai and stuff, which, yes, I had to cheat into my DS copy.
I'm enjoying it so far. It's been a long time. I tried Sword and Shield, and I just did not get into that, but...
I'm telling you right now, I think a big mistake, and everybody wanted it for so long, even myself. We've all wanted Pokemon to go into like full 3D so you could explore the world, but clearly that is counterproductive to the idea of Pokemon. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't flow as well. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, it was better my day. I'm like, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I haven't got into a Pokemon in a long time. I decided to try this one out, and it's one of those things where it feels like somebody who didn't play a ton of these. I played Red and Blue, and like then kind of fell off. And playing this is now like, oh yeah, I remember how all this works. Oh, there's some new things, but this is still what those were. So
I think I've said it on the podcast before these games came out, but like that was kind of how it happened with me. I had played Blue. I played my friend's copy of Red, then I played Blue because that's what I got. I played Yellow, and then I had Silver. And Silver was great. Silver was more Pokemon, and I loved it. But fuck, man, if like the Game Boy Advance games, I could not have cared less. You know, I learned about all this Pokemon through Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. I like skipped right over. So yeah, I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I don't think I'm into Pokemon. And then I saw Diamond and Pearl announced in like a Nintendo Power magazine. I'm like, that looks amazing. So I picked it up. And like I loved it. So I bought Black and White like day one, both copies, and I went, wow, this is not good. So
all right.
I've also played Cruise and Blast, so that was Pokemon. I've also played Cruise and Blast.
Love that game.
That's a fucking amazing game.
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, that's a spectacular racing game. I am glad I bought it.
I would really like that to come to other things, because I would totally double dip, but I like... The Switch version's very good.
Yeah, like I don't think there's any issues with it. I think Nintendo owns the license, so of course it's not going to.
Yeah.
If it did, I think it would benefit Raw Thrills, and
that's the other thing, is I want more people to play. I want it to be exposed to more people, because I think we just don't have those. Those used to be like oversaturated, and now we don't have those kind of games anymore.
Oh, it's got takedowns.
Yeah, it do.
Like, oh man,
the music is so good.
The music, I don't like the main theme. I know.
Oh man, it grows on you. It will.
I know.
Let's go cruising. I mean, it ain't cruising.
Cruising
It-
USA.
it ain't that.
USA.
But
Yeah,
it will
sorry.
grow. It will grow on you.
It's fine. Like, I'm just like, yeah, all right, let's move on to the music in game, which I'm like, yeah, I like lurking for the keys. The tracks are a lot of fun. Like, it's not like a cakewalk either. Like, it's not like the easiest game ever. Like, it's like the perfect difficulty. I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I
Give me
miss
a little
those
bit of that rubber band, but not where it's like horrid, like Mario Kart can be.
Oh, excuse me. I just sneezed. Is that Drew?
That's true.
It is.
We were just making fun of you.
Oh, that's
So, anyways, that's Cruise and Blast. Let's talk about Pokemon.
Oh, we just we
Again.
already talked about Pokemon for like
yeah,
a
no, but
half
Drew
hour.
just showed up. Drew, Pokemon thoughts?
I haven't purchased it yet.
All right, well, never mind then.
Yeah. We
Sure as
talked-
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
We talked about
we talked about it, but I'm like, Drew probably has thoughts. Apparently, Drew has thoughts. It's Diamond and Pearl. Cool. Thanks for adding to that conversation, Drew.
Well, that's all I got because I haven't purchased it yet. I was just checking to see what version you had.
Yeah, okay.
I have
Ken
Diamond
has
too.
Diamond as well. So.
I have Diamond. Yeah.
You picked up Diamond?
Yeah.
Well, look at you.
I used to like Pokemon, and Anthony raved about Diamond and Pearl, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get back on this Pokemon, and I'm further than he is. What's up?
This is the first Pokemon game I ever played. The first Pokemon game I ever played was Pearl.
Oh, I actually played Blue. And I was in it at the beginning, and then I kind of fell off hard.
Gotcha.
But I'm back. I've got Popper, my penguin.
Yeah, and I got Twiggy.
That means
My
it means
turkey.
Drew has to. Are the starters different? I don't know anything about it.
No, starters are the same for both.
So Drew's got to get Chim Cham,
I gotta get the fire monkey,
the fire monkey.
Chimchar.
the firefighting monkey.
Chimchar, one of the two fire types in all of Diamond and Pearl.
Isn't that like the hard route though?
Yeah, I'm not asking you to do it.
Yeah. That doesn't matter to me. We can at least trade them and everybody get. One
Yeah,
of them.
as soon as I get to the breeding station, I can just breed a Turtwig for everyone.
There you go.
All right, what else you got besides Pokemon and cruising?
All right. Played a little bit more Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, my opinions are still that's a really good game.
I have things to say about that game.
Okay, well, you can pick up on that when we get to you because I don't have much to say on it now.
Okay.
I finished Inscription. It's in competition for Psychonauts 2 as my game of the year right now. And like
How long did it take you?
12 hours.
Okay.
It's I missed things in that game. There are things that I missed simply because I didn't get it. Because there's a lot of out of the box thinking when it comes to the puzzles in the room. But man, there's some really interesting strategies you can take on the actual card game. Act 2 really adds a lot of mechanics.
Does that game require like trial and error a lot?
No.
So is there a way to lose?
I mean, there is no game-ending lose. Let me put it that way. So, in every act, like, you can lose, it'll set you back a bit, but all your key stuff, like, so in the first act, like, you're exploring this, like, cabin thing, and there's cards that you can find in the room that help you power up. Like, there's cards that, like, as you add to your deck becomes more powerful.
Sure.
You never lose those cards. Even if you lose both your lives in that when you're playing the card game, if you die, there's like a death sequence where your character is like photographed and turned into a card, but you just pick up where that last character ended. It's just you have to go through all the boss battles each time. So there's a bit of like backwards movement, but I don't know. I wouldn't call it like a rogue because like it's just a card game that you're playing through
Sure.
with a couple of options. And it's just like those boss parts. Like the challenge for boss 2 comes from making it through boss 1 with all your items or whatever that allow you to like do certain things while you're. It's again, it's hard to talk about in detail because of certain elements of the game, but I never felt like put so far behind that I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to go through all that again. It becomes actually kinder as the game goes on, where it's not as punishing.
Okay.
But yeah, like, what a fascinating game. Without even taking into the account like the story of it, or rather the weird story that's like external to the game more so. And like honestly, I asked my friend who also played it and finished it. I'm like, if you were giving it a review score out of 10, what would you give it? And he said an 8, and I'm just saying right now I'm giving it a 10. And the reason being is that I think it's set out to do it does everything it set out to do really well. Like, perfectly. He's like, I wish there was more. And I said, a 10 to me leaves me wanting more, but also doesn't feel unsatisfactory with what it has. I would love if this game had multiplayer. I would love to see this game get a sequel. But because I'm not going to diminish the score for what this could be when what it is amazing. Could it be better? Most things can be, right? If we put our minds to it. But like, rarely does a card game feel as intuitive as this. Rarely does a card game not feel like it's just either way too like this is the perfect amount of complication. Like, it eases you into the new elements of it really well, to the point where like, yeah, I would avoid some of the new aspects, and then eventually I had to start playing with them, and as soon as I had to start playing with them, I'm like, oh, this actually makes sense. I was very impressed with that entire game. So Inscription is one that I think everybody should play. Do not look into it though, because if you look into it, it's not going to have the same impact.
Right.
The Steam store page is, don't go into the review section. Just read what the Steam store page lists. If that interests you, and like the video on the Steam store page and the screenshots look interesting, give it a shot. If card games aren't your thing though, like Ken, don't play it. You're not gonna have a good time.
Yep. No.
Sorry?
I just said no. I didn't even bother playing it, so I had it spoiled. I know what happens.
Yeah, and like, if that's the case, hey, maybe watch a playthrough. I think you'll still find some really interesting things that the guy does narratively. Yeah, I was really shocked on how fantastic it was. I knew it was going to be good because everybody had talked about it really positively. I didn't think it was going to be that good. I get the hype. And like normally I'm the contrarian. And in this particular case, I'm going, yeah, no, everybody else is really speaking the truth on this. They're not wrong. And then the other thing that I played was one that I've wanted to try out for a while, and I'm like kind of torn on how I feel. I haven't played a lot of it. I just played it so I could talk about it on the show. That's Necromunda Hired Gun.
Oh, I've played that game.
Okay, so it's my favorite part of Doom 2016, which is like the machine, like factory look.
I mean, this is the game.
Yeah. And I kind of like Warhammer 40k because it's got a lot of weird lore and demons and shit, and it's grungy, and it's like the worst cyberpunk hellscape you could possibly think of, which it does involve hell. We're not in a Space Hulk, but hell exists in the 40K universe.
Yeah.
It's a good shooter, but good lord, there's too much visually going on.
That game
To
is like
see.
that game is like it's just throwing up on your screen constantly.
You're like, this looks very pretty, and it does, but you can't fucking see where the people are, to the point where the game was like, we're just gonna outline them in white.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm like, I can't fucking see them. And it just makes me realize, like, how smart Doom and Doom Eternal are. Because no point in Doom and Doom Eternal was I like, I don't know where the enemies are. And
It's got like
Necromunda
almost like
has
a
that problem.
It also has like this fisheye kind of. It's weird.
I mean, that's you can change that a bit. but
You can, but it kind of leans into that, and it's just like, I don't know. There's something about the movement too. Like I feel like I'm like sticky, if that makes sense. Like my character just
It's
kind of
not-
sticks
it's-
to everything, and
Do you like Doom 2016? But you're like, what if an independent developer did that?
yeah,
Welcome to Necromunda Hired Gun.
yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
I do like the wall running. The wall running's awesome.
I like the dog. I used to use the squeaky toy
The
to call the dog.
Cyber Mastiff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of cool shit. I'm glad I got it. It was only $30. I'm not disappointed at all with that, spending that money. But like, you know, it has its rough edges, and I'm not surprised this team did Deathwing, which is a better multiplayer experience, so I've heard. So I haven't played it, but like a very pretty game, but again, the same sort of issues. Like, I mean, this is not on the dev. Warhammer 40K is like the epitome of over-designed characters. Like if you've ever looked at Darksiders, War, and gone, wow, he's a really over-designed character. You haven't seen anything, because all of Warhammer 40K is like, what if we added extra shit to that gigantic fucking armor and then put them in a way too over-designed... Here's the environment. I can actually describe it. If you've ever watched Michael Bay's Transformers and went, what the fuck am I looking at? That's what the inside of all these space stations look like in 40K.
Also, be glad you're playing it now and not at launch, because at launch it was
I'm
a
sure.
straight dumpster fire.
Like, it looks good on my base PS4. But this is the same team that did Divine Cybermancy, and that's a weird fucking game. And like, it's a little janky, but it does some interesting stuff. And this so far has had some interesting stuff. I don't like heal being on the right stick. Like, clicking it down heals you.
Never. This is a note to developers, especially like Guardians of the Galaxy. Don't ever put anything clicking on either stick that's important.
Dash, and crouch. That's it. Run and crouch are the only things that should be on control sticks.
On the right stick, the only thing I think I should click for is melee.
I'll accept crouch if the left stick press in is run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just don't put any abilities
Heal.
or things like that.
Yeah.
On
Yeah,
clicking the
it's-
sticks.
It's got its flaws, but I like it so far, I think.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go out and be like, yeah, this is a really good game. You should all buy this for $50. But like, if you see it on sale and you like Doom, I feel like you like Doom when you're like, but I don't want to play Doom again.
Except
Maybe give this a shot.
it's not like a narrative. I mean, there's a story there, but it's more like, here's a bounty, go in this level and get it.
I'm okay with that.
You know, it's not. Don't go into it expecting like a
Lore.
yeah. Like there's just not much of that there.
You are a piece of shit in the piece of shit city, or piece of shit underground of a city that's filled with pieces of shit, and that's literally the lore of Necromunda.
Yeah, and they made 2 games out of it in the last year.
Yeah, the other one was what, Hive Wars?
Under Hive Wars, yeah.
Under Hive Wars, yeah, which is a
It's a
turn
beautiful
strategy.
game. Beautiful game. But
Or was it that turn-based strategy, or was
yeah,
that
it's like a kind of XCOM-y.
Yeah,
a little
okay.
bit, yeah.
That's what I thought. I don't know. There's too many fucking Warhammer 40k stuff.
Dude, I think there was 3 released last week, and I don't even know what they were. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So, that's it for me.
All right, Drew, since you came in late,
Yep, sorry about that.
you get to go now.
Okay. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy. Started playing that. Color me surprised, but dang if that's not like a top 10 game.
Yeah, it's in my top 10 for the year. That game is really fucking good.
That game is awesome. And the thing I like the most about it, it has nothing to do with the movies.
None of the Marvel games do, though.
I'm okay with that. Like this one, Avengers had other problems for me.
Yeah.
But this game is just straight up, here's your arena, you're going to shoot things here. Occasionally you'll have a boss fight kind of thing. I really like the way you can use everybody's powers. The only thing, and I get why they do it, occasionally I want everybody in this story to shut the hell up.
They do not.
They do not, and I know why, because it's the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they have a quip for everything. I get that, but it's always just this throwaway banter of like, I'm the crazy guy, and yeah, you're an idiot, and I'm just like, I get it, and sure, that's how those characters act. But man, it gets grating after like 3 or 4 chapters so far. But what really surprised me was there was an entire chapter, like the second chapter of that game is just dialogue. It's just choosing what you're going to do. And I don't know how well this game handles it. Does it do like the Telltale thing? Does it do like the Witcher thing, where you choose something and you're just not going to go here anymore?
I know that it does, like, depending on your choices, you do something completely different.
Okay.
But
there's
But I don't know if it's,
your destination
if it's
is always the same.
The destination's always the same, but what you do is different.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll see some different dialogue, you'll see some different actions happen, but nothing will not take you somewhere else.
I don't want to get into spoilers. There's in chapter 2 you get to choose what to hide.
That comes into play towards the end of the game.
Okay.
But it
Also
doesn't
comes into play
matter
very quickly.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what you pick because you will still get to the same outcome, you'll just do it differently.
But you still get fined. I'm assuming, is it the same amount?
Oh, yes. You get fined.
But is it the same amount?
I don't think it matters. I'm pretty sure they're both exorbitant amounts.
Okay.
It doesn't
What
matter.
did you hide?
I hid the materials.
I hid the llama.
Okay.
And they found the materials.
Yeah, I hid the materials. But the
And
llama
then
sticks
they-
around regardless, so
How much did they fine you?
8,000.
8,000
Oh,
credits.
it is different. It is different. I got fined 7,000.
Oh.
But it really doesn't matter.
No, but it was pretty funny as like we had a whole 7 credits to our name,
Yeah.
which is my favorite use of music in the game so far.
Yeah.
Hot chocolates, everyone's a winner.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The
They-
music use in this game is top notch. Like
Yes.
it makes the movies kind of look foolish in return.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. In the first battle, as we're speaking about stuff, look at me. I have way more to talk about than I thought I did. Did you successfully boost everyone the first time you do the huddle?
Yeah.
I did not. What song played?
Oh God. Oh, you asked me that, and I can't remember now.
Was it Rick Astley?
No.
Oh my God! So it did. It played me. It played me. Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up."
You done fucked up.
Because I fucked up. I was like, I wonder if that's because I fucked up. Apparently it is.
I could. So when I was playing pre-release, that was bugged. So like the music didn't play properly, but it did get patched before I finished it. So I did see moments of that. But yeah,
I can't remember the song that played.
And then as I was escaping, it was Flock of Seagulls.
Mine was Flock of Seagulls.
Yeah, I ran.
so far away.
Yeah, no, that Anthony, you know, Ken, you know too. I'm a huge, video game music person, and that can make or break an experience. And so far, perfecto.
It continues through the end of the game.
This is like straight up my wheelhouse of music.
You like
Classic
New Kids on the
rock,
Block?
80s pop, everything.
Have you listened to Star-Lord's album? You know, in the beginning of the game, you can sit there and listen to the entire song and read the lyrics.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did that.
That's crazy to me because you don't, like, most people are not going to do that, and there's no reason to do that, but you can do that.
They wrote that album. They've like that exists just for this game, and it's great.
Yeah. That game is something else. I'm so mad that game is getting shit on, like, commercially because of the Avengers. It's depressing.
Oh, yeah. It's the Avengers' fault, completely.
Yep.
I mean, Square Enix's fault. Oh, no, it's Crystal Dynamics. Get fucked, Square Enix.
No, this is an absolutely fantastic game. I am thoroughly enjoying what I've done so far. Like after chapter 2, where I was just making dialogue choices the entire chapter, and like what was being said was meaningful. It wasn't just like random dumb stuff.
Wait, you didn't have to. Okay, so chapter 2 is on the prison ship.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask, what happened in that sequence?
There was a disaster.
Okay, so that did happen. Okay.
Yeah. And then I got paired up with a kid.
Yeah, okay, so that is...
All of it was mainly just me walking and talking.
I was going and searching for stuff, and she'd be like, there's nothing down there.
They do that through the whole game. They constantly ridicule you for looking for secrets.
Well, I found a few secrets. So
hey, make sure you always look, because there's like 2 or 3 costumes per chapter. Costumes.
Goddamn costumes.
You ain't got to buy them. They're just in the game.
Look at that.
And some of them are really fucking rad.
I like that they have the movie versions, but I'm not going to use those.
Yeah, there's some really cool costumes in that game that you can find. And that game is bulky. It took me 17 hours to finish that game.
Wow.
I'm down for that. Like I am totally on board with this. This is like, I'm glad I have this week to kind of relax, because I'm going to spend most of my time doing it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I know you guys remember what I was telling you when I was playing it for review. Like, I had it like 2 weeks early. I'm like, you are not going to believe how good this game is. Yeah,
no, this game's legit, guys. Anybody out there who has not played this game,
it's going on sale for like Black Friday for like $30.
Yeah,
get it.
Yeah, for $30, it's a steal. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like this could be like, if you told me that this was like a first party, like Sony Marvel game, like Spider-Man, I would believe you. It's that good.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. I played a little bit. I know I need to play more because I'm reviewing it. Death's Door. Death's Door's cool.
That's a good game.
Yeah, it's really cool. It can get difficult.
Oh yeah.
You got to be really good with your timing and dodging and attacking and stuff like that. But it's actually really cool. I need to play more of it to have a better opinion of it. But it's actually really neat. There's a cool little world in there, I think. But yeah, played that. Working on Yakuza 3. We're taking this week off for Thanksgiving. But Yakuza 3 is a rough game to play, but I think I prefer this story over all of them except Zero's.
This is the first one that was like a PS3 title for.
Yes.
So it was like, to me, like that's where the story could expand. Like they can't deviate too far from the original story of Yakuza 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a continuation. It's like 2 years later.
No, but I mean, like, I feel like the writing, they can't, even in the new versions, they can't stray too far away from what was PS2 level writing without actively changing everything.
Yeah, well, they have, like, I had forgotten. I'd played this game before, but I had forgotten the majority of it. But there's some stuff that goes down in Yakuza 3, and I'm just like, okay, I'm down for this. And it's obviously 2 years later, Kiryu and Majima have a history, but things have changed in Kamurocho while he was gone because he's running an orphanage. And the dynamic, anytime Majima and Kiryu are on screen with each other, it's magic. Those two characters make that game. And there's some really good dynamics in there with Yakuza 3. So it's a really good story. I like it so far. There's some crazy twists that happen in there. And I'm probably going to finish that up probably at the end of this week, next week, sometime. But did that. I'm going to get Pokemon Pearl, but I don't know when just yet. I'm debating on when I'm going to get it, obviously, but I do want to pick it up. And I purchased Inscription. We're probably going to be doing that for Phoenix Down. Maybe after Death Stranding, or it may be after Yakuza 4, I'm not sure. But, yeah. I'm excited to give that a shot. That's it, though.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I played two very exciting games this week. I think Anthony and I were joking about these games last week, but I played that Smurfs game.
I don't know if I was joking about it. I think I was more like, it looks okay.
So the Smurfs game is a 3D platformer with I don't want to say Luigi's Mansion, but it's kind of got a little Luigi's Mansion. So the concept of the game is that you get this like flower-powered backpack, and you spray like the bad foliage and make it good again, and then you do like little side quests for all the Smurfs. It's okay.
All right, then.
This game I discovered my son doesn't know what the Smurfs are.
I'm not surprised.
And I was
Good
like,
for him.
what? You don't know who the Smurfs? He's like, are they aliens? I was like, no.
They're Smurfs.
They're Smurfs, man.
They smurf each other in Smurfage.
Well, there's only one girl Smurf, right?
Oh, they take turns.
God damn it. Why you ruin childhoods with this shit?
They
The game is fine. I wish it ran better on these new
I guess if
consoles.
it's a gangbang of Smurfs,
Oh,
it'd just
god
be a
damn it,
Smurf
you
Smurf.
couldn't let it go, could you?
No. I'll let it go, come on.
I wish it ran better on the new consoles, but it's still like capped out at 30. And it just, I don't know. The other one I played was the Marsupilami Hubaventure, which is just a side-scrolling collect-a-thon platformer, and it's fine. It's actually...
I do love the design of that character.
Yeah, this game plays really good, and it actually runs really, really well. I think it is running at 60, and it feels really good. But it's just a little straight left-to-right platformer with some platforming puzzles and jumping on enemies and stuff. It's fine. I played Pokemon, but we already talked a lot about Pokemon.
And we can do another 20 minutes on it.
I don't think I need another. Like at that point we'll have talked about the game longer than I've played it.
Okay, that's fair.
I spent a big portion of my week playing old games. So we'll talk about it in the news, but there was a lot of backwards compatible games that went up on Xbox this week. I played some Mortal Kombat 9. I played some Fear. I played a bunch of original Xbox. I played Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect.
The best Time Splitters games.
Yeah, it is weird to go back and play those because they're not like they have that GoldenEye control, which
yeah,
feels weird now.
I feel like Time Splitters has aged better in our minds than it has in reality.
It absolutely has aged better in your mind than it has in reality. I'll tell you what has not aged better in my mind and is still the fucking GOAT is Ridge Racer 6.
Never been a Ridge Racer. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never played a Ridge Racer game.
Oh, you are missing out. Ridge Racer is... Man, I like playing 6 this week. I've literally played it for like 4 hours this week. And all it's done is make me pissed off that there hasn't been a proper Ridge Racer game for consoles since the PlayStation 3. And Ridge
That was
Racer...
Unbounded, right?
No. Ridge Racer 7 was the PlayStation 3 game. Unbounded is not a Ridge Racer game. Unbounded was made by Bugbear.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
Yeah, no, that's not...
Yeah, no. He's so angry about it, everybody.
I mean, if you're a Ridge Racer fan, you do... Like, Unbounded as a game is fine. But as a Ridge Racer game, nah, dog, that ain't it.
Oh, yeah, it's focusing on vehicular combat akin to Burnout. Yeah, that'd be a little bit of a different...
Yeah, so... And what's even more disappointing is, like, Ridge Racer 7 was literally just, like, a director's cut version of Ridge Racer 6. So it's, like, literally Ridge Racer 6 was the last... like new console game we got. Yes, they're the PSP games, and the Vita games, and those are good, but I love a proper console Ridge Racer, and there hasn't been one since PlayStation 3, and it makes me sad, especially after playing 6 so much this week. What else did I play in that back compat stuff? I played a bunch of the old Star Wars games because they're up. I mean, I just played a ton of old stuff. I played Fear, which got a 60 FPS patch on the Xbox. The first game.
How does it look?
It looks rough.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm sure it does. Fear 2 was the better game.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's some...
I mean...
Fear 2 is a better looking game.
Fear 2 is a scarier game, if you ask me.
I don't know if I agree with that, but...
I do.
Yeah, no.
Oh, man, there's that section where you're in the school.
Hey, the school is fine, but the first Fear is like fucking tension from the start to the finish.
It's also tense because the enemies are
super good.
Saying like following you, and like the smoke leaves the... Oh, man.
It's hard to look at now, though.
The PC version runs like shit.
Well, this one runs at 60 frames a second, and you know, it feels good, but man, whew, you're going to have to deal with them Xbox 360 graphics.
Yeah, they don't do an amazing job of emulating what the PC did.
Yeah.
And then there's Fear Files, which...
Well, there's also Fear as in FE3R.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, me and you played that together.
Yeah, that game...
There's a documentary that I might have... I'm going to have to look up right now, so I'm going to cut in eventually. It was a fantastic look at why Fear 2 is Fear 2. It's about an hour long, and it talks about how like Fear 2 was not supposed to be a Fear game, and they bought out the company, and it was just like this really, really bizarre thing. God damn, I don't remember who it was from.
It was weird because back, you know, in that time frame, Fear was such like a household name, and then it just died. Like nobody's even talked about that game since it came out. It's just such a weird thing.
You know what? I still like Condemned over Fear.
Hey, you can play the first Condemned on the Series X, but you can't play the second one.
Condemned 2 is
really good though.
Except for the ending. The bear sequence still has me shit myself.
Oh my god, that was so good.
Oh god, it's coming through the fucking wall.
Condemned was an interesting game. Imagine
rest.
That was a launch game for the 360, wasn't it? Or was it close
Yes, it
to
was.
it?
Fear,
Yeah.
yes. Or not Fear,
Condemned.
Condemned Criminal Origins.
Yeah, that game is of an era. and I miss that era. And I think that was a lot of this, especially like with Ridge Racer 6 and like Cameo got a 60 frames per second patch, and like going back and playing that and just reliving that wonderful Xbox 360 time was nice. I did run into some issues, so like get on your digital high horse. A couple of the games that I know I own did not show up in my library. Couple of Konami games like Time Pilot and what was the other one, like Scramble. Like I know I own those games. I can go back to the old Xbox 360 marketplace and download them, but they do not show up on my Xbox Series X. Quake Arena Arcade didn't show up on my Xbox Series X. So like there's some weird licensing. I heard some people that had bought the Max Payne digital copy. It wasn't showing up for them. I didn't own that, the third game, digitally, so I don't know if it would have worked for me. So there's some interesting things. The Mortal Kombat 9 was bugged to where if you had like the complete edition disc, it wasn't downloading the DLC like Freddy Krueger and stuff. But they did fix that. I did test that. I was able to play as the DLC characters in that game. So.
Okay, so I found the video for Fear. It talks about Fear 2 in it, but it's about Fear 3. It's called Fear 3 Aftermath, a developer interview documentary from Dead Domain on YouTube. It's an hour and 22 minutes.
Holy shit.
And it is fascinating because they have a bunch of developers talk about like how John Carpenter and I can't remember the other person that they had like that were involved, quote unquote, with Fear 3's development and stuff, and just like how much did they actually contribute, and it goes into detail about how Monolith made Fear.
Mm-hmm.
And Fear 2 started as something else. And what ended up happening is Vivendi, like the Vivendi stuff when they were in and out of gaming, it caused problems where this other project became Fear 2, so they had to change some stuff, but then Fear 3 was being made by Monolith, I think, again. And it was like, they had their own idea for Fear 2, so like Fear 3 is Fear 2, but Fear 2 is a totally different game. It's a fucking shit show. So like if you've ever been like, why is Fear 2 and Fear 3 so like weirdly disconnected? It's middle management was the reason why. Like it just sounds like a nightmare scenario for everyone. Like Fear 2 originally had like this idea of like going between the walls, where there was this world between the walls of like just nightmare fuel monsters and stuff, and I don't know, the whole thing is very fascinating, and like I watched that whole hour and 22 minutes just fascinated with everything that was being said.
I remember when Fear 3 came out, of it being very much like them trying to make Fear bigger than it was, because Fear was kind of like a niche game. Like people on PC talked about it, about how good the AI was and the sound and the slow motion, and like, and then Fear 3 was supposed to be like the first big budget one. It was published by WB, and I do remember the John Carpenter stuff now that you mention it. And just like having all these people involved with this game to make it more mainstream than it was, and then, wow, that game turned out kind of eh.
Yeah. I mean, it also kind of suffered the Dead Space thing, weirdly enough, where it's like, they took a series and totally didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, that was kind of a norm during the 360 era of like these kind of games that get word of mouth and people talking about them, and they try to make them into this mainstream thing, and it just never worked.
Also, to bring that back up, you said Dead Space 3. That was also during the time of the what was it called? The co-op pass?
Online pass.
Online pass, yeah. Because I remember I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to actually activate that, like to where me and Matt could play together.
Oh yeah, because you had to have the pass to play online.
Yeah, so it automatically downloads the pass. It was like a weird, EA, you had to log into their friggin' servers every time you do anything. And I could not log into the EA servers because I hadn't logged into them in so long that they had basically locked my account.
Yeah.
And didn't bother to tell me. So every time I tried to log into the EA servers on my PlayStation 3, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the crux of these things is they're in their own time, and if you try to go back and revisit them now, it just doesn't work. It was such a weird thing. I remember when they sold those passes for $10, and it was a way to get around used games. That was the whole point of it. All right.
Yep.
To kind of wrap through these, I'm going to go through these indie games, and there's a couple interesting things here and a couple things that really bother me. So I played the Solitaire Conspiracy, which it literally is a game of solitaire.
Solitaire.
But I had to turn that game off because it's made by Bithell, who has made some great games. But about 10 minutes into it, Greg Miller from Kinda Funny pops onto my screen and starts telling me about the people in the game. Like he's in the game, and I'm like, all right, I seriously just don't. That shit turns me off.
Is it actually like a video of him?
Yeah, it's video of his face, and he's talking like a full motion video. And he's like acting for the.
It's like when Jessica Chobot was
Mass
in
Effect.
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Wow, thanks for taking me out of this whole fucking experience.
Yeah, like seeing him pop up on the screen, I was just like, you know what? You don't. I just don't. I don't. I know y'all are friends and y'all like do things together, weird. And it just bothers me.
That's where people start to have those questions of like, are the reviewers fucking attached to this?
Yeah, I mean, I get the question. I'm sure that that's not the case, but it still just
me neither.
Turns me off like big time. I'm like, I don't.
I'll say this. I seem to be in defense of them quite a bit. Sterling, when they show up in video games, I forget what name they're going by. I feel bad
Stephanie.
This time around. Sorry?
Stephanie
Sterling, when they show up in games, it's always an act. Like, I don't know it's them right away. Because they were in, oh my god,
I don't know. I know
they were in an indie game, and
yeah.
I knew it was them after the fact. Actually, they were in 2 games where I played, and they were really good. So it's like not, it's not that I have an issue with people showing up in video games. Don't play yourself. Don't look like yourself. Do a voice. You know what I mean? Like, if I can tell it's you, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It like literally as soon as he came up on the screen and started talking, I was like, is this like an ad in the game? Are you trying to sell me some manscaping or some MeUndies or something? I don't know what you're doing. Never mind. I don't want to play.
Manscaping.
That's the big podcast thing now. Did you not know that?
I know. I'm pretty sure I've said on this podcast, like, you don't need deodorant for your balls. You need to see a doctor. Like, you know.
Manscaped makes the cringiest friggin' ads I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, it's not. Here's the thing. It's not necessarily Manscaped. That's the problem. It's like people writing their own Manscaped. I'm not gonna call anyone out, but there's like. I'm friends with Ian from the CU podcast. They do Manscaped ads. It's pretty straightforward stuff. And you just go, yep, that's an ad. Then there's some other ones where it's like 3 minutes long, and I'm like, oh my god.
Some of those true crime stuff does them a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, This is what we've devolved into.
I'm surprised.
100%.
I'm surprised that you hear them on true crime though, because generally the audience is mostly female for true crime podcasts.
Yeah, it seems like a weird target. I don't know. The next game I play is called Out of Line, and it is a side-scrolling puzzle platformer. It's kind of interesting art style. Feels almost like kind of a hand-drawn thing. The hook in this game is you get this javelin that you can throw, and like you can call it back, and you use it to like stick in between gears so that the doors don't close, and you use it to throw onto walls so you can like platform up them. It was okay. Anthony, I messaged you about this game. It's called Despotism 3K.
Yes. I can't remember if this is.
This is a game about where you're like an evil robot, and
Yeah, but there's two games in the series.
so the one that I played is you're an evil robot and you're taking humans, and you're like, you can drop one of them in a wheel to generate power. You can
Okay, so that's the one that I am. So I know that one, and then there's another one that I can never remember the name of. That is also the same robot character, and it's. Give me a second here. Despot's Game. There you go.
So so like I was saying, you're a robot. You're putting these people in the different. So what threw me off about this game? So the first level, you can drop them in to run the power wheel. You can drop them in to make food for the people. You want to know what the third pod you can drop them in? I know you know, Anthony, but Drew, do you know what the third pod you can drop people in to do?
I have no idea what we're even talking about here.
So it's like a strategy game where you're taking people and you're putting them in machines to generate food and power.
Okay.
How do you think you would get more people?
Throw them into other people.
They fucking. You drop them. You drop them in this like fishbowl thing. You drop two people in there, and they literally just fuck.
Like it shows it.
So they're like stick figures, and it's like a cartoon. Like they'll switch positions every like 2 seconds.
What the fuck? What is this game?
Dude,
what is the name of it?
How do you say it, Anthony? Despotism 3K?
Yeah.
Despotism.
3K. And just like, I wanted to record the animation because like it's literally like cartoon. Like they're on top, they're from behind, she's on her knee. Like that's happening, and it's moving fast, and it's just, oh my god, I about lost it.
Oh, I'm seeing it now. Oh, what the fuck?
Right?
And there's a heart
Yes.
up under it. Oh, okay.
Just how they move back and forth like in the bubble. Oh my god, dude, that game is something.
Oh my god.
Right?
I just love hearing. I'm not watching this. I'm playing Pokemon, but just hearing Drew go, "Oh my god!"
That's why I had to message
I'm
you.
literally seeing a GIF of what looks like two people doing oral sex.
Yeah, that's what it is, and that happens
Oh
in the
my
game, and it's fucking crazy.
What is this rated?
I know, but it's on Switch.
Well, of course it's on Switch. They got porn games on Switch.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so that threw me off big time while I was playing that. It was making me laugh. Like I had to just turn the game off. I was laughing too hard. I played Total Arcade Racing, and it's another one of those top-down arcade racing games. I'm like, dude, just go play Circuit Superstars because that game's the fucking bomb. Smoots Golf. I like it okay, but you have to wait on everybody else to take a turn, and it really drags. I booted up Them Bombs, and it's literally one of those games where one person is like giving you the bomb instructions while the other person's doing the bomb defusal, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not going to play that. 200 Ways is basically like there's a ball, get it to this goal, and you can build stuff around it. It's kind of like a mousetrap kind of simulator. Here was a weird one. It's called Clang 2, and it is a game where you're like this dude standing at the bottom, and there's like these musical notes coming at you, and you've got to attack them in the rhythm of the music. And that sounds cool, but it's kind of generic. Space Moth Lunar Edition is a vertical shooter. I don't recommend this one because there is so much shit on the screen that it's impossible to kind of dodge and shoot at the same time. Like I literally was just like dying after 20 seconds of the first level, constantly. Like there's just so much stuff on the screen, it's ridiculous. Masto is Together is this week's, here's 30 levels, here's level 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. get to the end of the level. It's basically a jump puzzle. Think of it like a budget Meat Boy kind of game, and you get the idea. Blood Rain 1 and 2 revamped. Those games are still both very good. You want to see a difference between the first game and a sequel that is like light year jumps. Look at Blood Rain 1 to Blood Rain 2. Like the leap in quality from the first game to the second game is amazing. It almost feels like a different game. Oh, I'm saving that one for last. I think I'm there though. I did play Undungeon, Tiny Build's new. It's like a top-down action RPG, except it has like dialogue choices, kind of like a Path of Exile kind of thing, where you can, kind of dictate the story as you go along. All right, Anthony, I need you to look up a game for me real quick.
Okay, give me a second.
This is for
my computer monitor.
This is for a
I'm logging into the mainframe.
All right, the game is called Tamarin, Tamarin. I just want you to look at a box.
I know what this. I know what this is.
Okay.
I haven't looked it up. This is made by Rare devs. You play as a monkey. You fight ants that are literally the Jet Force Gemini ants, and
but it
sucks.
I just want you to look at the box art and tell me what kind of game you think it would be.
T-A-M what?
Tamarin. Tamarin.
The box. Yeah, I know. He's a cute little fluffy monkey thing.
Yeah. So I
know what it is.
It's an animal.
Yeah. So it looks like a platformer, right? Like a puzzle.
Yeah, but it turns into a third-person shooter.
Yeah, like literally. So this game, when I booted it up, I was like, all right, we're gonna play this little cutesy platformer. Cool. The first level is your village where your family lived burned and they're all dead.
Like Secret of the Nymph kind of thing.
And then you get to the second level, and like Anthony said, the first thing you pick up is a fucking Uzi.
Yeah, and you shoot giant ants that are straight out of Jet Force Gemini, and you literally do all the Jet Force Gemini things, but it lacks any good parts from Jet Force Gemini. It's like, oh, this is what people think Jet Force Gemini is. Not good.
This game is not great, but
it also looks like every Unreal Engine upgrade of like a game where people are like, look, this is what it would look like if Zelda was on the Unreal Engine. You're like, yeah, it looks ugly as shit.
Yeah, this game, I know, like I booted it up, I was like, oh, a little depressing intro. I was like, oh, let's do some puzzle platforming. And then all of a sudden it was like, bam, here's an Uzi, let's shoot these motherfuckers. I was like, well, I was not expecting that. And then the last thing I did was I checked out the King of Fighters 15. They call it a beta, but that's just a demo. And it's real good, and I can't wait for that game. I only needed to play 2 matches, and I was like, alright, I'm in. Let's play some KOF 15 come February. I do love me some KOF. But that's it for me. I think I'm going to play Pokemon this week while I'm on vacation. That sounds like fun.
Look at you getting back into Pokemon.
I am playing another game I can't tell you about. If you want to know about it after the show, I'll tell you. But it's really fucking good, and I can't wait to talk about it. And no, it's not Halo. Sorry.
Is it a big game like Halo?
Dude, I don't think you would know this game if I told you what it was. And what's funny is I've seen it at several shows. And every time I was just kind of like, oh, that looks okay. But then I started playing it, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. So.
Okay, cool.
So let's talk about what's coming out this week. It's Thanksgiving, so it's a light week. We'll go through Series X and PS5 first. There's literally just a couple games. We got Farming Simulator 22, Cricket 22, and Little Bug. Then on PlayStation 5, we've got the same stuff, plus 3D Billiards Pool and Snooker Remastered, 3D Mini Golf, Death's Door, Panda Hero Remastered, Summer Sports Games 4K Edition, and Winter Sports Games 4K Edition. Xbox One and PS4, about the same stuff. We also got Asterix and Obelix Slap Them All, and Deer Simulator, your average everyday deer game. PS4, anything different? We've got My Universe Puppies and Kittens. That's out this week. As is Windlands 2, whatever that is. So not a lot coming out on most of the consoles, but then we get to the Switch, and of course there's plenty of games to play on the Switch this week. We've got Dying Light Platinum Edition, Limited Edition, Death's Door, Let's Sing 2022, My Universe Interior Designer, and My Universe Puppies and Kittens. We've got Drizzle Path, Deja Vu, Poker Club, Number 1 Sudokus, Doctor Who, Edge of Reality, Dodonpachi, Resurrection, Puzzle Frenzy, RoboShark Rampage, Shiro, Cabin Fever, Date Night Bowling, Night Lights, and Real Boxing 2. And then finally on Friday we got Farm Quest. So as you can see, no big publisher is putting out their big game this week for good reason. Because, you know, it's Thanksgiving. Oh, alright. I'll kick over to the news. News you can use. Speaking of Yakuza earlier, Ryu ga Gotoku Studio is developing a new game not in the Yakuza franchise.
Okay.
They're also working on this follow-up to Like a Dragon, which will take place several years after the events with Ichiban. But he's still in it, I think.
I wonder what this new game's going to be.
I don't know, but I'll check it out because those guys make some cool games.
They do. Can I hope for a binary domain too?
You can play Binary Domain now on the Xbox Series X.
I know, and I really want to go back and play that game because that game was amazing.
I did boot it up, and it has the frame rate boost, so it now runs at 60 frames a second.
Mm.
And I had also forgotten that you can tell people what to do in that game.
Yeah, with your voice.
Yeah, and like I had to tell it like I don't have a headset hooked up, so I'll just press the D-pad and tell you what to do, Big Bo.
Big Bo.
Big Bo.
Gosh, that game. I remember us talking about it on Phoenix Down. Like that game.
That game's amazing, dude.
That game made me question shit.
I really like that game. If you've never played Binary Domain, motherfucker, go back and play that game.
I have it on PC and I still haven't played it.
Oh my god,
I'll add
Anthony.
that to the list of fucking shit.
Dude, that game is so good. When you meet the robot, fucking crazy robot.
The French robot.
The French robot, dude.
Yep.
Oh, that game's so good.
Every character in that game is awesome.
Yep.
It's so good, and it's made by the Yakuza people of
Yeah.
all people.
That game is so good. Pragmata. Remember that game?
No.
That's the Capcom game with the little girl and the dude, the spacesuit. Everybody thought it was a Kojima game. Showed at the Game Awards last year.
Oh yeah, third person in like New York City or whatever.
Yeah. It's been
Yeah.
delayed to 2023.
No, really?
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that.
Yeah. Bandai Namco announced the Pac-Man Museum coming in 2022 will contain 14 games. I didn't even know there were 14 Pac-Man games. Crazy.
Just give me Pac-Man World games again.
Those are not in this collection.
I know they aren't. Great if we could also get the Pack and Roll game
Nah,
on the fucking DS or Wii.
you're just gonna get Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. What else was
Same shit we've gotten a million times, yeah.
Yeah, like they're laying all Pac-Man 256. Whatever. Another delay. Saints Row has been delayed into summer. Shouldn't be shocking, but hey. The GTA trilogy was a dumpster fire, but Rockstar has apologized, put out a like statement, basically saying patches are incoming. Which, by the way, all three of those games got patched last night. I haven't had a chance to boot them back up, but they did get patched last night, like big 5 to 6 gig patches. They've also relisted the PC versions, and if you bought the definitive trilogy, they're going to give those to you for free.
It's like they shouldn't have fucking done that in the fucking first place.
Hey, you're not wrong.
I'm glad this business decision, fucked you over. Like, you made your bed, now fucking sleep in it, you pieces of shit.
Also, do not harass the developers on Twitter, even if they are assholes. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, I don't have to. I can just sit and be like, yeah, it's a shit product. Don't buy it, and that'll be enough to fucking hopefully not allow them to do the shit that they did with just an AI upscale again.
Earthworm Gym TV series is currently in development.
Why?
Can I just say I loved the account where like, what does Earthworm Jim think about trans rights? Earthworm Jim, and then the account responded with, Earthworm Jim thinks that trans rights are human rights.
Okay.
And they're like, so you're not attached to the original creator? And he's like, not involved at all.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's just a good fuck you to Doug TenNapel.
WB officially revealed Multiverses, which is the Smash Brothers type fighter with Batman and Superman and Shaggy and Tom and Jerry and, you know.
Fever Dream? Yeah.
Stark.
I mean, it's free to play, so I'll try it. But I'm sure it'll be fine, right?
Does Shaggy get his like ultimate power that all the memes said he had? He better.
I think they leaned into it if I saw like the video of it. Like they showed quite a bit of the game and it looks okay.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't he like power up with like Scooby snacks and like there's one outfit where he has like his shirt off and shit? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they leaned into it in the intro to one of the Mortal Kombat movies.
Yeah, he's in there.
He opens up the thing and he's glowing with his eyes glowing and he reaches through, I'm not done with you yet or whatever, and he pulls the person through the WB logo.
Yeah, that's in the Mortal Kombat Battle of the Realms. Animated.
God, they need to... I really hope fucking Warner Brothers and NetherRealm don't split, because I really would like Shaggy.
Well, that's
Mortal Kombat!
That's one of the things I wanted to note here is that there are no Mortal Kombat characters in that debut, which makes me wonder, have they already like been sold, or there like is a deal going on, or because NetherRealm has been super quiet.
Yeah.
And they should have announced their new game by now.
Yeah, because Mortal Kombat's done.
Mortal Kombat 11.
They can't.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 got like support longer than any of the other ones, and that support's been over for almost a year now. And everybody's assuming their next project was Injustice, which would have been announced by now, and in fact probably would have been out in like May of next year. But they haven't said anything. So what's going? If they don't announce a new NetherRealm game at the Game Awards next week or next month, I have a feeling that NetherRealm has been sold to somebody. So I don't know. As I mentioned earlier, tons of new backwards compatible games were dropped on the 20th anniversary Xbox. I'm glad to see that we were pretty good on predicting what was going to happen at this thing last week's episode. So we predicted back compat games. We listed.
There's a lot of those. Unfortunately, the last round of them, but
yeah, that's the other part of this. Is this will be the last batch of back compat games. But they did drop 76 of them. It's just a lot of games.
The only thing where I kind of want to call bullshit on this, like, this is as far as we can go, and I'm like, I understand that with third-party stuff, but, like, and I realize, like, it sounds kind of stupid, but, like, no blinks, too?
The first one's on there, but the second one's not. It's got to be a licensing thing.
They own the rights,
but there has to be something in that game or that developer that was licensed funky that they just can't get it. I don't know what it is.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, that's how I have to understand all of this stuff works, because, like, why is Mech Assault not on there? Mech Assault 2, and that could be the,
Oh, yeah, I never thought about those, yeah.
Yeah, like, what about Sudeki? Remember that game? Why is that not in there?
Yeah.
I know why Cocteau Chojin's not. That game was taken off the market. Well, it was bad, but it was also taken off the market. You couldn't even buy it.
Yeah, because that same sample was used in that as Ocarina of Time and one of the Cruisin' World, I think, on N64.
Yeah, I remember I was working at EB Games at the time. we had to take those copies and throw them in the dumpster of
Yep.
Cocteau Chojin.
Destroy on site.
I will just say one of those did not make it into the dumpster.
Yep, the headphones I'm using right now are also a product that were supposed to be destroyed on site. And I totally can tell you right now, 2 pairs didn't make it into the fucking dumpster.
Also, what about the launch lineup of original Xbox? They have Bloodwake. Remember Bloodwake? Azaric, Rise of Parathia. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. My favorite game.
Yeah. Whew. The grown-up Smurfs. Yeah, like it's just got to be like somebody owns the rights to the developer or something, and it just.
I bought the exclusive rights when you didn't fucking. Alright. You keep Kakuto Chojin.
And they also just, fucking said, fuck it, here's a Halo multiplayer. Did anybody play that, by the way? We didn't even talk about it.
No, I didn't play
I'm
it.
just gonna wait till the whole game is out.
I played it.
Halo?
It's fucking good.
It's
Yeah.
Halo.
It's fucking good, Halo. Big team battle, man. Whew. That took me back. I was jumping off of ramps and capturing flags and returning them in warthogs, and man, I do not like the battle pass shit though. That ain't for me. I don't like that stuff.
What exactly is that?
So that's like you level it up by doing challenges in the game, and it like you have to buy it, and then if you buy it and you level it up, you get like cosmetics and shit. I don't know. They got Halo bucks in there. There's like a big store.
Come buy your Halo books.
I
I mean, they had a store in 5 as well.
I know, and I hate that shit. I don't like
Well,
any of that shit.
Are you buying cards to use in a specific
No,
mode?
thank
Then
God.
it's already better than fucking Halo 5's.
And that's the thing, is like the minute-to-minute Halo gameplay in this is really fucking good. Like,
All
it
I
feels
wanted
amazing.
all I wanted was the fucking cosmetics for Halo 5 multiplayer. I didn't play that mode, and it was like, yeah, but the cosmetics are only available if you buy packs of cards. And I'm like, I don't...
Yeah.
There's nothing less in this world I want to do than buy packs of cards.
I don't want to... there's literally like a billion ways to customize your Spartan. And I'm like, these are cool, but I'm not buying Halo bucks to put a little tchotchke on the end of my battle rifle. I'm
Yeah.
not. Like, and my teabag celebration animation or whatever the fuck is in there. I just,
Dude, nothing screams effective warrior like Master Chief flossing.
yeah, I don't know. Like that shit just, like when I went in the store and I was looking at it, I was like, oh look, they have their own currency. Great. Love when that happens. And then like you have to press a button to see what the conversion is, and like the top choice is like $89.99. I was like, nope. Hit the B button.
$89.99.
Yeah, that's like the best deal. They have the best deal shit.
Yeah, but Jesus.
Fucking Halo bucks.
Drew, the galaxy needs to be saved by Master Chief, and he needs your money.
All right, do you want the final news story that I have?
Absolutely not. I say we just hold off and not say it.
Good news or bad? No, I got two. So do you want the
okay.
good one or the bad one?
Fuck it. Give me the bad one. Drew?
You want to talk about Bobby Kotick?
Oh.
What do you think I was
Well,
going to talk
Satan-
about?
I don't fucking remember what's happened. You implied that I remember what happened this week, but Pokemon came out in my brain went, I'm 12 again.
So let's just. So there was a Wall Street Journal article that came out that basically said that he knew, like that proved that he knew all of this stuff was going on. There was one quote from his assistant about how he said that he would have her killed.
If she said anything.
Yeah.
But don't worry, everybody. He apologized.
Also, he's the one that wrote that really shitty email that supposedly came from the former Bush person
Not surprised.
that got criticized. That he also criticized the email saying it was tone deaf. Well, you wrote it, Bobby.
Well, Bobby Kotick, maybe I've said this before. I'm pretty sure if I needed to draw Satan, I would just draw Bobby Kotick. Because he's an evil piece of shit businessman.
Yes.
That's the end of the conversation. This is none of this was surprising. The only thing that was surprising was that the board stuck by him.
Well, that kind of evolved later in the week when Jim Ryan first criticized him.
Yes. Here's a thing that I'll say. Good. I'm glad Jim Ryan and Sony stepped out and said, "Yeah, we're kind of like rethinking our partnership with Activision."
Well, no,
we've
they didn't
contact them and
they
told
didn't
them
say
this
that.
is shit.
They didn't
Sorry,
say
you're right. They said we reached out to them and we're unimpressed with their response.
Then Phil Spencer came out and said we are reevaluating.
That's right.
Yeah.
I got that confused.
Yeah, Phil Spencer said we're reevaluating our relationship with Activision.
And yeah. And he sits on the board of Coca-Cola and other fucking places because he's the prime example of how capitalism is evil. Yeah, I don't like Bobby Kotick. Clearly that's a known thing now that I've said that he's literally Satan. But it's just like every shitty businessman trope applies to him.
Yes, from like the private jet bullshit, the harassing women.
Yep. And the harassing women wasn't on the table until recently.
But you kind of knew it. You kind of knew that was probably happening.
I could assume. I did not have proof.
Yeah,
now
that's
I
what
do,
I'm saying.
and I can go, oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me any bad thing you tell me about Bobby Kotick.
The reason why I didn't jump to that was just because, like, he's a piece of shit. I don't have to jump to that conclusion. He's a piece of shit already. And now it's just like, oh no, he's the piece of shit.
So I think my question in all of this is, do you think he stays or goes? Because let's just say for a minute that Sony and Microsoft decide, like, hey, we're not selling your games anymore until you get rid of this piece of shit.
I think the shareholders will probably end up making that happen.
Yeah, it's the shareholders' decision. And right now they're back, like, I'm pretty sure they're kind of backing.
The majority is. There is a minority.
There's always a minority.
It's like 0.06% of the shareholders want him gone, and I'm just like, yeah, that ain't gonna be enough. But when Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan come out and say, this is fucked up, you fucked up, that's kind of a big deal because they hold a little bit more weight than some people.
Well, I mean, that's where the prime demographic of where their sales are.
Yes.
Right?
Xbox and PlayStation probably make up a very large chunk of, let's just be honest, Activision's biggest game, Call of Duty.
Well, I mean, at this point, basically their only game.
Well, you got to take the Blizzard stuff into account as well.
Yes, but I mean, at this point in time, it is their only game. What's Blizzard putting in?
Well, you want to tail into that to the rumor that I read this week that the Game Awards supposedly has an announcement of World of Warcraft coming to console.
Oh,
I don't believe that.
You want to talk about a tone deaf announcement if Jeff Keighley actually puts that out on his show?
I complimented Jeff Keighley for not wanting NFTs.
If he has anything Activision or Blizzard at the Game Awards, and Bobby Kotick is still head of Activision or Blizzard, no, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
Sorry, I just can't see it because I don't think he's that type of guy.
Is that game? So that kind of tailspins into my next story, which is the positive one. We got the Game Awards nominees. Are there any Activision Blizzard games nominated?
I think so.
What?
Huh?
Call of Duty's not. So what else is there?
No, I said I don't think there is.
Okay, I thought you said there were. I was like, well, what is it? Yeah, I'm scrolling through the list. I don't see any Activision Blizzard.
What do they put out? This is my point. Like, it's not. That's the reason why I can't be like, I'm not buying anything from that. I don't buy anything from them.
Well, is there a remaster category? Would have Diablo been in that? I don't know.
But Diablo wouldn't win. I've heard too many complaints about that Diablo with the server stuff, so that Diablo's not coming close to winning.
Okay, I was just curious. I didn't know. I was just curious. So yeah, I don't feel like I need to spend more time talking about Bobby Kotick. Get that fucker out. He got to go.
Grab some holy water and he'll fucking melt into the ground.
He might. You don't know.
Yeah, fucking trash. Worst part of Moneyball, everybody.
Oh yeah, he was in a movie. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's in a movie.
Keeley announced the nominees for the Keeley Awards, and of course that sparked conversation on the internet. I'm not going to go through all these. There's a lot of categories. It's cool to see Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, Call of Duty is in a category.
Oh, is it?
Call of Duty Warzone is in Best Ongoing Game.
It fucking shouldn't win. I don't hear anybody talk about it other than Call of Duty fans.
So I'm like looking through like these nominees. There's a lot of categories. Most of these will be one-off announcements during a fucking Manscaped commercial. So, you know.
I was happy to see Psychonauts 2.
Yeah, I'll
In a
go through
couple
the game of
spots?
the year. I'll go through the game of the
Okay,
year in a
alright.
minute. Drew, I think you replied to me, or I replied to you about this. Like when they showed the content creator of the year, the only thing I could say was who?
Who are these people?
I have
Also, they
never
spelled
heard
wrong.
of one of these people.
I haven't either.
Can you?
Yes, I
Are
will
you
read
looking
them.
at a list?
I will read them for you, Anthony. We have Dream,
I know who Dream is. Unfortunately,
Fuslie, Fuslie,
no idea.
Gaules, Gaules,
Nope.
Ebai, Ibai,
Nope.
and the Greffig.
No. All right. Yeah, I only know who Dream is because, like, fans of his fucking make him trend on Twitter all the time.
Dude,
And I'm
I've
like,
never seen any of these names.
I haven't either.
Yeah, no, I don't know any other ones.
I've never even seen
Dream is-
Dream. I don't know who Dream is.
Dream is like a faceless person that plays Minecraft or some shit. I'm not trying to like. It's just
Do they have a voice?
yeah. Like Corpse Husband. You know, you don't see who it is. You just hear their voice, and they're super popular. And
Who?
I believe Dream was accused of cheating in Minecraft. They had a speed run, and I forgot that I had a mod on. Sure you did.
I'm gonna be fair. I don't know most content creator. I hate that word, by the way. I'm an old man, and I don't like that word.
I don't like.
I took a shit
This
yesterday.
is-
That was content. Did I create it?
Oh, I mean, you're taking a shit now. This podcast.
I've been taking
don't-
677 shits, Anthony. Ugh.
Saves that for Sunday, everybody.
So what's games of the year?
Give me 1 second. I just want to say, like, I watch people on YouTube and stuff that does video game content, but for the most part, I like watching things where there's research involved, or it's a breakdown, like an in-depth critique. Like, there's a lot of work. For the most part, I don't like watching people stream, unless they're like somebody that really knows the game, like a speedrunner, that's where I'm like, okay, I'm into that. But it's not interesting for me to watch someone play another video game unless I literally just don't know what it is and I'm using them as like let me see what this game is before I buy it. That's it.
How is AVGN never even been nominated? He's the OG.
He's not the most public friendly. Take a diarrhea shit down your neck.
Yeah.
This
Also,
game is a fuckload of ass.
Didn't
Yeah.
he get under some flack recently?
Just being associated with Mike, I think.
Yeah, Mike is not.
He's not
He's
there
not
anymore.
part of it anymore.
Yeah,
No.
it's Screenwave now with that Justin and Kieran, I think is his name. I think those are the guys he does the podcast with. I still like his shit. His episodes are good. I like it. He's about to do his 200th episode, by the way.
Yeah, I still watch AVGN. I mean, occasionally I will pop in and listen to some clips of like Game Grumps, and I don't really give a crap what they're playing. Most of the time, it's just them talking, and they kind of are funny.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. Like what's the word I'm looking for?
Conversationalists.
What is the why is my brain not functioning today? Like, whose line is it anyway? Improv. Yeah, they're really good at improv.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're funny.
I like. I can give you kind of a short list. I like Mini Me with 2 M's on the me part. Australian guy. He covers a lot of weird stuff. Ross's Game Dungeon is fantastic. Mandalore Gaming does a lot of like they call them immersive sims, but I wouldn't call them that. He does a lot of Warhammer coverage. He does a lot of more like technical games. I like Nitro Rad. He does a lot of platformers. Who else? And most of them are pretty funny too. Like Nitro Rad has some pretty good jokes. Ross's Game Dungeon is fascinating. Fuck,
Gaming historian.
Gaming historian's just top tier. Like documentaries.
That dude is creme de la creme right there, man. Like seriously, like gaming historian. If you haven't watched a gaming historian video, you need to do that. This dude does months of research on something before he makes a video. His stuff is perfect. Like he does a great job.
So Ross's Game Dungeon is not dissimilar. He has saved games from like obscurity, like to the point where he's like, he played a game called Bip Bop 2, which is just like a Breakout clone, but you could not find Bip Bop 1 and Bip Bop 3 online. And like, if you watch the video on Bip Bop 2, he ends up contacting the creator, who sent him a floppy disk that he had to have sent to his dad's, because his dad's not a floppy disk reader. They weren't sure if they were going to get the data off of it, and they got the data off, and they got the permission to upload Bip Bop 1 and Bip Bop 2 online for free as abandonware.
Did he?
And it's like this crazy story.
When he transferred the data, did he go bippity boppity boo?
No.
Damn it.
No, he did not.
Missed opportunity.
Generation 16 is another one that's like game by game research on every Genesis title, going like chronologically. Game Hut is from the guy who started Traveler's Tales. He's the most fascinating programmer I've ever heard talk. Like, it's just like crazy how he pulled the stuff off. And then most of the other stuff is like just kind of like the occasional like video that I watch. By the way, Drew,
go ahead.
Say you need to watch Mandalore Gaming's like more recent video. The guy from JCS Criminology appears on it.
Oh, good.
It was funny because he's like, it's this game called Anonymous Agony. It's terrible. But he did a coverage of it, and the guy just comes in to do the breakdown of like the main character, like how he's insane.
But instead, at the Game Awards, we will get graphic. God bless, I guess. You know.
I don't know.
I don't
know him, but I'm not going to criticize him because I don't know him.
I'm sure I will see clips when I watch the Game Awards because I'll be watching it for the reveals.
Yeah.
So,
When's that happening?
December 9th, like the day after Halo comes out, I think.
Okay.
So, Game of the Year. The nominees are, there are 6 of them. We've got Deathloop. It Takes Two.
Can I just say, I don't think Deathloop is going to win.
I think it will. But anyway.
Think Deathloop will win?
I think so.
Okay.
Are we doing that? Are we picking who we think's going to win?
Let's go through and see if you think there's a possibility.
All right, so we got Deathloop.
I think it's a no. Not that it's a bad game at all, but I just don't think it's going to win.
Well, let's get through them first, and then we can give reasons why.
Okay.
So Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
I have only played 3 hours of Resident Evil Village. The rest of them I have not played.
Oh my!
Yeah, I haven't played much less than that. So, Deathloop is the first one. I don't think it's going to win. Not because I think it's a bad game, but I feel like all of their that studio's games are just not for the masses. It Takes Two is a very good game. I think it's worth being in the conversation. I just don't think it's going to win. Although it's kind of funny because like if you and the person you play with both vote, there's 2 votes built in. What was the next one?
Metroid.
Unfortunately, I think Metroid Dread could win just because the fans are fucking insane.
Well,
Like,
you know this
people
is
that
not.
think
This
that
is not.
game is
You
great
do know this is not
really
fan
won't let-
voting, right?
Sorry?
You know this is not fan voting, right?
Yeah, but like I do think that there's some people that would vote for it, and I don't think that game is as good as people say it is. It's good, it's just not the masterpiece that everyone seems to fucking think or say. What was the next one?
Psychonauts.
I mean, that would be my choice out of this list. And then it's
Ratchet.
I don't hear people talk about that game.
I've
mean-
never heard a single person besides you talk about It Takes Two.
So Ratchet is a game that, like, every time one of those games comes out, everybody rants and raves about it for all of 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's a bad game, because it was incredible. Loved it. But people just forget about that game.
Yeah. Dude, I forgot about Resident Evil Village coming out this year.
Oh, 2021's been a long year, Drew.
I know.
It's
I mean,
been like
I have Resident Evil Village sitting on my hard drive. I've put, like, I made it to, I killed one of the sisters or whatever.
Oh, yeah, you
And
haven't
that's
even
just-
touched that game.
I barely even touched that game. I need to play it, but I'm playing Guardians of the Galaxy now, which should be on that list if we're being honest. And I've only put probably 4 hours in that game.
but did Guardians
Yeah.
they have that weird like
So we
cutoff
can
point?
we can have that conversation. I think the cutoff is like November 10th of when a game can come out. And then like their submissions were like November 4th. And I know the big conversation around this is why is Forza not on here, because Forza is the highest rated game of the year.
True.
And
Oh,
I
no
think
thanks to you, Ken.
yeah, my bad. It should have been
Yeah.
higher, but I gave it an 8 out of 10. Sorry. I think Forza's was just literally timing. Like the people that nominate the games of the year, that game was not technically out when they started, and they didn't kind of go back. And I'm going to be honest with you, my pick is Psychonauts 2, so I'm the same with Anthony. If I was picking one of these games as game of the year, I think Deathloop wins because the people who are on the panel that vote for the winner have not been able to take their lips off of that game's penis. Like, they talk about it like
Yeah.
it's the best thing that's come out in years. And
Yeah,
I don't agree,
yeah.
it's not my jam, but I think that's what I'm like the betting man. I'm looking at the odds of the people who are on the
Better than
panels.
Quiet Man.
Well, it's Quiet Man.
Don't remind me of that piece of shit.
But I promise you that It Takes Two, Ratchet and Clank, and Resident Evil
think, all right.
Village are automatically out.
Lose, yeah.
Yeah, those are not going to win.
It's disappointing to know. It really is disappointing that like It Takes Two isn't going to be my game of the year. It's right as of right now. It's in my list.
Yeah, it's
just
100%
not
in my
near
list.
the top. Right? It's like out of 10. I haven't done the math. I haven't figured it out exactly, but it's like it's closer to 10 than it is to 1. It's a very good game for a crowd of people. I know people. You don't want to hear me talk about fucking A Way Out, but I have to because this game is made by them. And for a group of people that told me that was an amazing game, to have It Takes Two not get nearly the same amount of coverage irritates me. Here's a studio that did everything right. They made a better game. They made a better story. And I have faults with the story, but like it's such a better experience than A Way Out, which I thought was horribly boring, unoriginal, and like just the fucking campiest of camp endings that people were thinking that was mind-blowing. Spoilers, I don't give a shit anymore. Spoilers for It Takes Two. I spoilers.
Don't spoil it. It
Spoilers.
takes two.
Yeah,
Don't?
Drew hasn't played it.
Oh, fucking Drew. God damn it.
Well, he's got to find somebody
I'll
to
be honest with
play
you,
it
I probably
with.
never will play it, but the thing is, it's not about me. It's about the listeners.
That
Yeah,
game is
but
still
I've
this
warned
year.
them.
That game is still this year. So
Sorry, not It Takes Two. Sorry, I'm confusing. I'm spoilers for A Way Out.
Well, I
That's
don't
what I
give a
meant to
shit
say.
about A Way Out.
Spoilers for A Way Out.
3 years old at this point. I'm
Yes.
okay with that.
Yeah.
Spoilers for A Way Out. It ends with both players fighting each other.
Double Dragon style.
And people lost their fucking shit collectively on this being a big new thing. Except that if you've played Double Dragon, that's the end. And Double
If you-
Dragon's a better fucking game.
Castle Crashers, you did it at the end of every stage.
Yeah, a little bit more expected in Castle Crashers, but
Oh, sure.
but like it's also the ending of Streets of Rage 1, where if you choose to go against Mr. X and your teammate goes, I want to team up with Mr. X, you fight to the death. Like, this is not a new concept, and people were like, oh man, A Way Out is so good. And I'm like, no, It Takes Two is a way better game, and it just was not covered the same. Like, I didn't have people going, oh, you're crazy for liking It Takes Two, but I had people saying I was crazy for going, this isn't a great game. Like, A Way Out is not great. And people were like, no, it's way better than the 7, I think, or 6.5 that I gave it.
No, that's about right.
It's exactly about right. That game has, like, a bunch of fucking shit you can interact with that does nothing.
It
There's
takes
a bunch
two.
of seats you can sit down.
It Takes Two is like fucking Nintendo levels of platforming. It's so fucking good.
It made me go, I really wish there was just a full, like, collectathon with these controls, because movement in that game is so fluid and precise, and like swimming is probably the best swimming controls in a 3D platformer ever. And like all the little mini games you get to play with friends were neat, and like it was a really fun experience.
And it's
like
funny.
the fact that like that just never made the same hit as A Way Out.
The
Like
fucking
fuck,
Street
man.
Fighter scene is still one of my favorites.
Sorry, the Street Fighter scene?
In It Takes Two.
Oh god, yeah. Oh yeah.
That game
So
is so
dumb.
good. That game is so good.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. You two people are the only two people I know that have actually played that game.
Dude, if you played it, you would be talking about it too. It's on Game Pass.
I know it is. I don't. Like, it takes two people to play it, correct?
That it does.
Yeah.
I will never find somebody to play that game.
That's kind of the name of the game. It Takes Two.
Like I like
that was-
Brothers. You remember Brothers?
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't mind that,
It's
and
okay.
I loved how it ended.
That
I mean,
game
it ended sad, but
that game depressed the piss out of me.
That's
the
a
way-
better.
the way you learned how to play that game with two people, and at the end of it, you only have one, but now the one is playing like the other character. I was like, okay, that's really intelligent.
It's also fucking super sad.
It is. It is.
So what's your pick, Anthony?
I mean, it's like if I'm picking out of that list, it's Psychonauts 2. A game that, speaking of like sad and stuff, that game made me cry.
That game is really good.
You know, I can't. Sorry, yeah, Psychonauts 2, and it wasn't even the main story overall, which is pretty. When I say messed up, I don't want to say like messed up in like a like deranged sort of way. I mean like messed up as like morally, like you go, yeah, and like the characters are like, yeah, there's a reason why this is that way, and it's everything you want out of like a good Pixar movie. And I say Pixar specifically because I feel like Disney falls into its own trappings, but like there's a reason why I think Up stands out or WALL-E stands out amongst Pixar's other movies, is that there is some genuine message to them that isn't just feeling based, and I think that's what Psychonauts 2 achieves. Plus, visually it looks like an animated movie. But then you go to even the platforming elements, and like I felt like that worked perfectly. But down to the music, like the voice acting is spectacular. Down to the music. If you're gonna ask me like what had a better or more interesting level design, like Psychonauts 1 did some really interesting stuff, but I think those moves put that game into a bad spot. Like I love in Psychonauts 1 the theater level where you're having the bug people like reenact, like every time you do the line changes and stuff, they act the scene out. But by the time, like, while you're trying to get all the little icons or whatever floating around, like, by the time you've seen the same scene multiple times, you're just like, I fucking just wish I could skip this. And that wasn't an issue with Psychonauts 2. Man, it just, like, everything is so perfect. I think it's Double Fine's best game.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Drew? What's your pick? What do you think will win?
Deathloop.
Yeah, I feel you. I didn't like that game. Like, I think it's interesting, but I don't like the time loop games. I don't. They're just.
I will never play that game because while Arcane Studios makes amazing games, I do not like them at all. I don't like a game where they say, here's your sandbox, here's your rules, go and do whatever you want. No, I'm good. I don't like making my own fun.
Well, that's Deathloop, except you have a time limit.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah, I don't like the time loop games. To me, they're just rogue games with an excuse to get rid of the name rogue in them. All right. That's all.
But hold on, Deathloop can't win. It doesn't have any incest in it. All right, there was our 12 minutes reference.
Oh,
Jesus.
All right, I got one tweet, but it's a two-parter. It comes from Adam. He says, all right, finally moving on to Assassin's Creed Odyssey after finishing Origins earlier this year. Just wondering if you guys use guided or exploration mode. Seems like the latter would just annoy me in the long run. As always, cheers for the show. P.S. The game's 75% off at the moment to anyone who wants to jump in. I even got the gold edition after many times hearing you guys say the DLC is great. Peace out. Dude, I will never play exploration mode. I ain't got the time.
What exactly is exploration mode?
It takes all the markers off the map.
No. No. That's like me playing Deathloop. I'm good.
Like if you don't tell me where to go, I don't have the time to look anymore, unfortunately. And I get why people like those kind of modes, and more power to you. But I kind of want you to like nudge me where I'm going.
There was times in Assassin's Creed Origins where I would go to where the marker's telling me, I'm like, where the hell is this guy? Now, maybe I'm an idiot.
I mean, we're old.
I can agree to that. I am.
Yeah, we don't need the maybe.
Yeah, I
kidding, I'm kidding.
I can't. No, I am.
Okay, well, sure.
There's no denying. Like I'm not the pro gamer that I used to be.
Oh, dude, all you got to do is log
Dreams
into
are canceled.
Halo. All you got to do is log into Halo multiplayer. You'll realize how much of an elite gamer you are anymore.
That is the reason why I haven't played Halo multiplayer.
Yeah, those people are already real good.
Like I'm good. Like I got good at Overwatch, and good is in quotes for me. But like, there's no way I could handle Halo. There's no way.
Yeah, I was definitely getting my ass whipped. I'll tell you what I got my ass whipped in harder, though, was Battlefield. Whew.
I've never been good at Battlefield. Battlefield is one of those games where I shoot a guy, then die, shoot a guy, then die. And I get that takes about 30 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
I'll tell you the penultimate Battlefield experience. Spawn, run for 2 minutes, die.
Didn't even see anybody.
Yeah, got sniped.
Sniped. Yep, that's why I hate PUBG. That's why I hate any of those games, because there's no way to actually learn. There's no way to actually improve in those games. That's one of the things I have to give Overwatch. And we harp about Overwatch all the time. Overwatch, when you screwed up.
Yeah.
I got sniped by Widowmaker. Why? Well, I didn't keep my freaking shield up.
Well,
it's
you
stuff like that.
you shouldn't have poked your head out in Battlefield, and I wouldn't have sniped you. That's
Yeah,
I mean, you kind of
but
don't have a
you're
choice in
giant
Battlefield.
area. Where the hell am I supposed to go?
Yeah, you want to go hang out in the building where there's nobody at? That's really fun.
Yeah, that's what they do in PUBG. They sit behind a door and then move whenever they have to.
Yeah, they just lay in the grass
or
for like
you
20
lay in the
minutes.
bathtub.
Yeah, that's what PUBG is. In fact, when we went to do that weekly quest, that's what Drew was doing. I was like, hide in the building.
And yeah, I made it to what, third?
Yeah, third place because you just laid down in the grass or hid in the building or whatever. Yeah.
And that, my friends, is what we call 2021 fun. Because there's tons of games out there that are just like that, and I'm like, this isn't fun to me. This is why I gravitate toward RPGs, where you have a story, you have a course of where you need to go, and you can customize your character or customize your party, so you still have those choices that you get to make, but somebody's telling you where to go.
Also, I am old man proponent of easy mode.
I'm getting to that point now too.
I just, like, if a game has an easy mode, I'm immediately, if I'm playing it for leisure, I literally just, like, slap easy mode right on. Like, I don't need the headache anymore. I don't need to prove that I'm good, because it does nothing.
The last game I deliberately put on a harder mode was Doom 2016.
I'd have never finished Doom Eternal if I'd have put it on anything above normal.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
I played Ultraviolence and beat the game on that, and I was fine with that because I wanted to play Doom again, like what I did when I was a kid, and I was like, let's go to Ultraviolence. I heard it's not that bad. It is one of those where you have to know what you're doing, and I had a really good time with it.
I'll tell you one you don't want to do that to is Quake. I went back to Quake and I played it on normal, and I was getting one-shotted. I'm like, oh, cool.
The last game I put on hard was, and I didn't even finish it. I got to the last level and went, I'm just tired of this. I was trying to get all the achievements in Quantum Break.
You know the last game I purposely put on hard to get achievements was Batman Arkham Asylum. And the hard mode in that game just removes the little lightning bolt above your head for a counter. I think that's all it does.
Too bad.
Yeah, I beat it, but
yeah,
I just don't need the frustration anymore. I just don't. I sit down to play games to relax.
Yeah.
It's just
I have to give it to Doom because I have to go back to that because Doom 2016 on Ultraviolence, every time I finished one of those battle arenas, I was like, fuck yeah. Because it was just hard enough to where I was like, I need to, before I activate the enemies, I need to look around this area. Okay, I can jump here, I can do this, I can do that. And it helps you create a battle plan, and it made you feel like you were accomplishing something. Like, sure, Doom is all about being just the ultimate badass and just murdering things, but I still felt that way, but I had to strategize a little bit more.
I could see getting through Doom 2016 on Ultraviolence. I could not see getting through Doom Eternal.
Yeah, the way you mentioned, what were the enemies?
The fucking knights. I forget what they're called, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Those things are just, they're not fun. Like,
no.
everything that you would do to fight them, they have a counter for. Like,
the Doom Eternal, purists are the same people that are like, Metroid Dread is fantastic. It's like, this series has better games.
Doom Eternal is a game I enjoy, but it is near the bottom of my favorite Doom games.
Yeah. Doom 2016 is perfect. Doom Eternal is okay.
See, I think Doom 2 is my favorite. I fucking love Doom 2. Then
That's my favorite song from Doom.
All the music in Doom 1 and 2 are... there's a horn in Forza Horizon 5 that is E1M1?
No, I do.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking fantastic. Exactly. It's literally a horn doing that.
Shit.
Anyway.
I gotta find that horn.
That's all I got. Before we get out of here, I did want to mention I watched the second Tiger King.
The whole thing?
Yeah, it's only 5 episodes.
Hiker.
Oh, it's only 5 episodes.
What's that, Anthony?
I said hiker.
Tiger.
He's doing Master Betty.
Tiger.
Bird.
So how was Tiger King season 2?
God damn, there's crazier people in that one than there were in the first one. Holy shit.
Oh, really?
The dude that was helping Jeff Lowe at the end of the first one, the older dude, the bald guy. There's like a whole episode about him in the second season. That motherfucker is crazy. Like legit bananas. But yeah, it ends with I guess they're still trying to get Joe out.
Why? He's not a good person. It's just this weird,
Well,
he's a piece of shit.
all the people that are also pieces of shit didn't go to jail, and I think some of them are now going to jail.
Good.
Good. Doesn't mean,
Everybody
weird.
involved in that was horrible people.
Yeah, I literally think everybody involved in that show is a horrible person.
I will say that guy who was like the assistant.
The one that
like a
lost his
nerd.
legs?
He lost his legs?
Is that the guy with glasses?
Yeah, the guy with glasses.
That went off to do like the racing?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, he has like prosthetic legs.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't think he was a bad person. I think he got caught up in the craziness.
Yeah. I don't know. That shit is crazy. I also started watching Cowboy Bebop, and boy, the internet's mad at that show, and I don't know why.
I've heard it's only about the characterization of Faye.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
That apparently, it's a lot of Joss Whedon-ish feminism. Like, oh, she's witty and she fights men, and that's why she's tough. And it's like,
I don't.
people are upset about that. I don't fucking know. That's what I've
heard
heard.
people were upset because they changed some things, and I'm like, well, if you do it scene for scene, what's the point? Like there are definitely scenes from the anime in the show, and I thought they were done well. And the show captures that fucking Cowboy Bebop vibe. I mean, Yoko Kanno did the music for the show, the live action show. I still don't skip the intro. It's too good. Like, just the music.
there you go.
Yeah, like, I like it. I think it's fun. I think I'm on episode 4. I think there's 10.
Laura and I finished Lock and Key season 2.
Oh, yeah?
It's pretty good. Lock and Key season 2 is better than the first season.
My wife and son watch it, and they seem to like it.
Dude, there's a lot of violence in that show, man.
Dude, my son just played through Resident Evil 6 with her, like,
Okay.
about a
All
month
right.
ago, and I was just like, really? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
You should watch Lock and Key, man. You'd probably like it.
I'm waiting for Invasion to finish, and I want to watch that. I really want to watch that. I like alien shows. I want to watch that. There's too much shit to watch.
There is a lot of stuff to watch. We watched a lot of stuff.
I watch
Like-
Fast
like-
9, you know?
Yeah. The retcon, the
The
movie.
retcon, the movie, holy shit.
What? Sorry, what?
Fast and Furious 9?
Oh, I don't care about that series.
I love the series. It's fun.
It's so good.
Yeah,
It's dumb.
it's so dumb. It's fun to watch.
What if the Avengers had cars?
Dude,
No, what if the Avengers were cars and then people were inside those cars?
There you go.
I mean,
Perfect.
kind of, yeah. There's a
Lisa's
nice...
done some stuff that's not humanly possible.
Dude, you have no idea this one. Oh my god. Some of the stuff they do in this one, when they're not spending 30 minutes of exposition to retcon some story, there's a scene at the end that I'm just like, what the fuck?
Oh, we watched Disney's Jungle Cruise. That was fun.
I haven't seen that yet. I watched Shang-Chi, and I think Jungle Cruise is next on my list. Did you watch the Home
Jungle Cruise is
Alone?
fun.
Did you watch Home Alone?
The new one?
Yeah.
No, I never will.
You don't like Home Alone?
I love Home Alone. I don't like that Home Alone.
But you haven't watched it yet. You don't know. It might be good.
I know it's not. Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Are
Can
you
I
going
make a
to?
I might watch it.
Can I make a guess? Oh God, I have a slight fear. Do they fucking digitize or like deep fake fucking Paul Walker?
In Fast 9?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, thank God.
No, they did it in. Which
I
one?
mean, they
His
had
brother,
to-
his
they
brother
had to at
stepped
one
in.
point.
His brother stepped in as a stunt double, and they like made it so that you barely saw his face.
Yeah.
But that's a bit different because they had to explain why the character wasn't there. I'm forgiving on that part. I was just like worried that they were like, no.
They should
we're going-
probably,
Yeah, no.
they should probably
According-
write in that he's gone, like dead or something at this point, because now it's like,
Yeah.
especially with this movie where they bring back literally everybody, but yet he doesn't show up.
Yeah. For some reason, like, stuck with the lore of him just, he's went off to be a family man.
Well, what's even
Go
killer
home and
about
be a
Fast
family
9 is
man.
that his wife is in it.
Is in it and doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, but he's watching the kids.
He's watching the kids.
It's like, okay, let's just, come on.
They'll never do it, though.
I mean, he is referenced in this movie, and he even drives up at one point, but he never gets out of the car, you know.
No.
You know,
Oh, God. Don't do this.
it's just like,
He
come
pulls
on.
up the skyline. Yeah.
Yeah, and
The
the
windows are
blue
super
skyline.
tinted.
Yeah, he pulls up at the blue skyline. It's like, dude, come on. There is a good stinger at the end, though, so you gotta stick around for that.
Uh,
You get to see somebody who's not in the movie.
Captain Marvel comes down. Oh, different movie.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm already getting off on a rant. That's it for the show. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at N4G Podcast. You want to follow me, it's at ZTGD. Anthony's a Complacent Robot. Drew is at DML Fury. And you can send us emails to podcasts at ZTGD.com. Phoenix Down, Yakuza 3, taking a break. Actually, I don't think there's going to be much of anything on the site this week except for this show. I think that'll probably be...
yeah.
Fucking Thanksgiving, man. I'm on vacation all week. You weren't here when I talked about that, Drew, but I am off all week.
I am working Thanksgiving Day, so.
Oh, I'm not. I'm going to be watching football all day. Because we still can't go to family meet. My sister called and asked me to come. Because we haven't really been able to get together since Mom passed, like all of us. And I was like, I can't, because my son just got his shot. And he still has to get his second one, and then it's like 2 weeks after that. So hopefully I'll get to go for Christmas, but Thanksgiving we're not going to make it. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm just going to laze around the house, play some Pokemon, watch some football, eat some bad food, maybe wrap the Christmas present. My tree's already up, so.
Yeah, we've got our tree up, and I think I hear my wife decorating right now.
When did you put it up?
2 days ago.
Oh shit, mine's been up for like a week and a half, Drew.
No, that's. I delayed it as long as possible.
Well, when you have kids, it goes up faster.
Yeah.
My son wanted it up in October.
Oh, no.
No.
I put a
we
rule
haven't
down
too
that it's
spooky
at
yet.
least after Halloween. It has to be
Mhm.
past Halloween. It's got to be. I used to say it'd have to be after Thanksgiving, but I lost that battle.
Yeah, that battle's been lost a long time.
Yeah. When you get kids, you'll lose another battle. Just letting you know. But
I
anyway,
don't even know if I fight anymore.
you just go, okay. See, that's the progression, Anthony. When you get older, you become the old man in the lounge chair. You kick your feet up and you just say, okay.
Joke's on you. I already don't give enough of a fucking life. That is me right now.
You get to an age where you don't care about justice. You just care that everybody's quiet. Shut up.
Yeah. You
I just
go for peace.
I have a thing to tell you. I don't really care about justice, but it's a good way to have her be quiet. So it's just easier if you go, the fucking bad guys should leave. It's a really easy way to make people quiet.
All right, let's see if anything else we're gonna get out here.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.
Epic fail. to the N4G podcast. Oh, you can...
It's me, Mario.
$0.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Captain Con.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat. And
I always live being angry.
Killer Wolverine. Play games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon. 8.0.